Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Exotic Wine Travel. I'm your host, Matthew Horkey. This is part two of our Croatian Thoughts on Croatia episode, and this is for you specifically if you plan on going to Croatia and you enjoy drinking wine. Now, before we get started, we had to move locations our location's different, from part one, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to go on a little rant. I hate two things. I hate motorbikes, because whenever people are driving them up, they have to rev them up and redline them and make them loud, and it's just so irritating for everybody else that's not on the bike. So I know I'm going to get a lot of hate, but I don't like that. And number two, I hate small dogs. We had a small dog at this house. It was just barking at my legs. So if you have a small dog, do not invite me over to your house. Okay, let's get started. What to expect and look for when you're going to Croatia. Number one, where can you get wines? We heard a lot of people complaining, saying, I can't get wine. Where do I get the wines? Supermarkets. There's two big ones that I recommend. Number one, it's called Konzum, almost like consume, but with a K. That is like the Whole Foods of Croatia. They also have a version that's called Super K. That's even bigger. Look for that. They have everything on them shelves. Everything from basic wine all the way up to wine from high-quality producers. Some of the Super Ks and the Konsums actually look like wine shops. The selection was so good. They also have a German supermarket called Lidl, L-I-D-L. It's a little bit lower, but they have good stuff as well. So if you can't find a specialty wine shop, a Konsum will be your best bet. If you're going to Dubrovnik, there are a lot of wineries that have their own wine bar in Dubrovnik. Matuško, Milicic, Grabovec. They have a big bar called Davino with all different types of wines. So you can go there if you're going to Dubrovnik, which is what a lot of people go to. Okay, number two, grades of wine. Croatia is very interesting because it grades the quality of wine, kind of like the German and Austrian system. At the base level, you have Stolno Vino. Stolno means table. That's just table wine. A step above that is Kvalitetno. And then finally, the highest quality is Vrhunsko. That means high quality wine. They have an agency that tests all the wines and actually grades them. You might be able to see on this Kozlovic Taran, it says Kvalitetno on the label. Can you see that? Can you pick that up?
Yep.
Okay, great. Now this Taran actually I think is better than a Kvalitetno, but maybe they didn't want to go through the paperwork to make it a Vrhunsko. I see that a lot too. Some high-quality producers don't even bother with making their wines Vrhunsko. They keep them Stolno just because there's no classification for them, especially weird blends of wines. But as a guideline, that's going to help you. At the Stolno level, you're going to get wines anywhere from $1.50 US to $3 US, $4 US, maybe even for a liter. At the Kvalitetno level, maybe 4, 5, all the way up to 9, 10 US dollars. Very good wines. And then Vrhunsko, we're looking above that. I mean, you can find some Vrhunsko for under that, but usually $10 and above, $10 to $13 and above, that's where you're going to get Vrhunsko. I think the highest priced wine we found here in Croatia that was new and not aged was a Bibic, which was $160 US dollars. But there's not a ton of wines playing in that high range. So that's number two. Number three, what varieties are actually used in Croatia? There are over 60 indigenous varieties in Croatia that they use in winemaking. They've got lots of old winemaking traditions, and they also have bringing in international varieties as well. So, what to look for? If you're going to Zagreb area, the capital, or you're going up to Slavonia, the more continental side, there's going to be wines you're going to see, Graševina. One of the most common. It's basically just Welsh Riesling, makes crisp, acidic wines. Tramanak, which is just Gewürztraminer. They can be more floral, more lychee, a little bit richer. They also make good dessert wines. Up there you have Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, all that stuff as well. If you're up there, look for the winery called Iločki Podrumi. They're all over supermarkets in all of Croatia, make really good, affordable white wines. If you're going to Dalmatia, which most of the tourists go to Dalmatia or Istria. Dalmatia, what's the big grape? Plavec Mali. Now, Plavec Mali, we've seen can make some really poor wines, some average wines, and some world-class wines. So go talk to people. Talk to people in the wine shop. Talk to people in the supermarket. Find out what you're getting. Don't get the lowest price Plavets because it's usually not going to be very good. If you're looking for white wine on Dalmatia, Poship is going to be the most common white grape. It makes a heavier wine that's maybe get some Chardonnay characteristics, some Sauvignon Blanc characteristics, maybe not the strong acidity. You can get those wines for really inexpensive. As you move up the coast, you're going to see weird grapes like Gurk, Debit, Zlatina, all making some really nice white wines. And lastly, if you're going to Istria, right at the border of Italy and Slovenia, the wines are going to be more Italian style. In general, I found that region to have, as a whole, the highest quality of wines. Dalmatia had some excellent wines, but in general, Istria wines are fantastic. Most of the whites are made of Malvasia, really floral, crisp white wine with some wildness, some twigginess to it. And then the other grape is Touraine, the cousin of Refrosco. The wines can be very acidic, but very berry, very wild, and very delicious. So those are some of the things to look for if you're going into Croatia. Did I miss anything, Shireen?
I think we're all set. Do you want to talk about appellation?
Yeah, there are not a lot of... The appellation system's getting redone in Croatia, so it can be very confusing. It's not like Spain, not like Portugal, not like France, not like Italy, where they have designations on them. So the classification system I gave you, Qualitetno, Vrhunsko, Stolnovino, was probably be something that you use. I hope you find this information interesting and very useful. Look out for our guide to Croatian wines that will be coming up. I'll put it in the description box. That's going to give you even more information if you need. If you like the video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Exotic Wine Travel, and I'll see you at the next episode.